Welcome back to ABC General Hospital Spoilers channel. Today we will dive deep into the dramatic twists awaiting us on Thursday, August 21st, where Maxie Jones remains trapped in a mysterious unconscious state. Martin Gray delivers a shocking betrayal to a furious Drew Kane, and Sonny Corinthos unleashes his intense interrogation on Ada Justine Turner, promising a whirlwind of revelations in the heart of Port Charles. Let's start with the escalating mystery surrounding Maxie Jones, whose sudden health crisis has left her family reeling in disbelief. As Max Scorpio gathers with his wife Felicia Scorpio and the ever-loyal Cody Bell in a tense hospital waiting room, he can't help but voice his growing suspicions about why Maxie's heart would falter so abruptly, without any prior warnings. Remember, Maxie underwent a life-saving heart transplant back in her youth, and for decades, it has served her well, pumping steadily through countless personal storms and triumphs. Yet here we are, facing what appears to be an inexplicable heart attack that struck like a bolt from the blue, plunging her into a precarious limbo. This unforeseen collapse raises a barrage of urgent questions not just for Mac, but for all of Maxie's devoted circle, including her closest friends who have stood by her through thick and thin. Could there be hidden factors at play, perhaps tied to her high-stress life as a fashion mogul or unresolved emotional baggage from past relationships? The air thickens with uncertainty as whispers of foul play begin to circulate, hinting at a darker undercurrent that might explain this medical enigma. Diving deeper into the potential culprit, all signs point to that suspiciously tainted face cream from Deception Cosmetics, which Lucy Co staunchly defends as harmless despite mounting evidence to the contrary. Lucy's unwavering faith in the product's safety seems almost naive in the face of these developments. But there's undoubtedly more layers to peel back in this unfolding saga. Enter Anna Devane, the sharp-witted police commissioner whose investigative instincts are firing on all cylinders. She's poised to unveil a groundbreaking theory that could link the cream directly to sabotage. Imagine the possibilities. Perhaps a rival in the beauty industry tampered with the formula. Or maybe it's a personal vendetta aimed squarely at Maxie for her role in recent corporate shakeups. Anna might even speculate that Maxie was specifically targeted, drawing connections to old enemies from her tangled history with characters like Peter August, or other shadowy figures who've haunted Port Charles. This added detail of potential corporate espionage injects a fresh thrill into the storyline, reminding us how the worlds of glamour and danger often collide in this town, leaving viewers on the edge of their seats for Anna's next move. Meanwhile, Lulu Spencer finds herself shaken to the core as she receives alarming updates that send ripples through her already fragile world. These revelations could stem from Anna's emerging suspicions about the cream's tampering, or they might simply revolve around the grim reality of Maxie's deteriorating condition, evoking painful memories for Lulu. As someone who once endured her own harrowing coma after a devastating explosion, Lulu's empathy runs deep, making this news hit like a personal blow. Picture her pacing the hospital corridors, her mind racing with flashbacks to her own awakening struggles, now amplified by the fear that her best friend might face a similar prolonged battle. Adding to the tension, Dr. Lucas Jones steps in with a sobering assessment, confessing that Maxie should have regained consciousness by now under normal circumstances. His professional concern paints a picture of a deepening coma, one that defies easy explanations and forces the medical team to explore experimental treatments or consult specialists from outside Port Charles. This invented element of seeking external expertise heightens the stakes, underscoring the desperation as Lulu grapples with the what-ifs, wondering if Maxie's fiery spirit will pull her through, or if this could mark a tragic turning point in their intertwined lives. Shifting gears to a more intimate subplot, young Giovanni Joe Palmieri lends a sympathetic ear as Emma Scorpio Drake pours out her heart. In a candid conversation, Emma, with her blend of youthful determination and inherited Scorpio resilience, opens up about her frustrations, and Joe responds with unwavering assurance, declaring that he's not backing down just yet. This moment likely ties back to their joint efforts in exposing Professor Henry Hank Dalton's shady dealings, perhaps involving academic scandals or hidden agendas that threaten their futures. Gio's pledge of support could include brainstorming new strategies, like gathering digital evidence or rallying allies from their social circle, adding a layer of youthful rebellion to the mix. Inventing a detail here, imagine Joe sharing a personal anecdote from his own family troubles with the Corinthos clan, drawing parallels to Emma's fight and strengthening their bond. This exchange not only humanizes these next-generation characters, but also weaves in themes of loyalty and courage, setting the stage for potential alliances that could ripple into larger Port Charles conflicts. Now, let's turn to the explosive confrontation brewing between Martin Gray and his smug Drew Kane, where betrayal simmers just beneath the surface. Martin, ever the cunning attorney, probes Drew with pointed questions about his grand plans, only to shatter expectations in a stunning reversal. Drew had been banking on Martin as his key witness in the assault case against Michael Corinthos, envisioning a courtroom victory that would solidify his power plays. But oh, how the tables turn. Martin's suspicions run deep, convinced that Drew orchestrated the fraud investigation targeting Stella Henry, a mess that has now ensnared Martin himself in a web of legal woes. Why on earth would he assist Drew after such underhanded tactics? This refusal feels like poetic justice, positioning Martin as an unexpected ally for Michael, who could use his testimony to argue provocation and dismantle Drew's schemes. Envision Drew's face contorting in rage as the realization hits, his carefully laid plans crumbling like a house of cards. To expand creatively, perhaps Martin drops hints of recorded conversations or insider documents that further incriminate Drew, inventing a subplot where Martin's own ethical awakening stems from a recent personal loss, making his betrayal not just tactical but profoundly moral. Unfortunately, the fallout extends to Stella Henry, whose legal nightmare intensifies in ways that test her unshakable resolve. As Wednesday's episode unfolds, Stella's fraud charges stemming from what the insurance company deems clear-cut deception escalate, pulling her deeper into turmoil. Enter Alexis Davis, stepping up as Stella's fierce legal defender. But even she must concede the damning technicalities that label Stella's actions as fraudulent. This admission doesn't come lightly. Alexis might explore creative defenses, like arguing emotional duress or procedural errors in the investigation, adding invented depth to their strategy sessions. Picture tense meetings in Alexis's office, where they pore over documents late into the night, blending legal jargon with heartfelt confessions about family pressures. Stella's crisis serves as a stark reminder of how one misguided choice can snowball, especially when manipulated by figures like Drew, whose meddling has amplified the chaos. Finally, the intensity peaks with Sonny Corinthos cornering ADA Justine Turner in a no-holds-barred grilling session, demanding clarity on whether she's pursuing charges against his son, Michael. Sonny's fury is palpable, his protective instincts in overdrive as he probes Turner's intentions with the precision of a seasoned mob boss. Yet, Turner, with her clever wit and strategic mind, might deftly sidestep direct answers, dropping subtle hints that her true target isn't Michael at all, but the increasingly vulnerable Drew Kane. This twist could involve Turner revealing off-the-record clues about Drew's broader misdeeds, perhaps tying into corporate fraud or personal vendettas that extend beyond the assault case. Inventing an element, imagine Sonny sensing an opportunity for an unlikely alliance, where Turner's ambitions align with his own grudges, setting up future episodes filled with shadowy negotiations. Next, we will delve into the heart-pounding intrigue unfolding in the sun-drenched streets of Dubrovnik, where Jocelyn Joss Jacks and her partner Agent Vaughn battle for survival, amid a high-stakes WSB operation at the luxurious Five Poppies Dalmatia Hotel, all while masquerading as blissful newlyweds to breach the fortified walls of Professor Henry Hank Dalton's clandestine laboratory. The tension skyrockets as Joss and Vaughn navigate this perilous undercover assignment, their fake marriage serving as the perfect facade to slip past security and gather intel on Dalton's shadowy experiments, which rumor has it involve cutting-edge biotechnology that could revolutionize or devastate the medical world. But Joss's bold streak takes center stage when she blatantly ignores strict WSB protocols, forbidding direct confrontation, leaping into action during a brutal Friday skirmish where Vaughn grapples with a ruthless assailant. In the hotel's dimly lit corridors, with adrenaline surging, Joss unleashes a precise gunshot that almost certainly wounds the attacker, showcasing her razor-sharp reflexes honed from years of facing Port Charles dangers. Yet this heroic intervention threatens to shatter their carefully constructed cover story, inventing a fresh layer to the chaos. Perhaps the assailant was no random thug, but a hired operative from Dalton's inner circle, equipped with surveillance gear that could have captured Joss's face on hidden cameras, adding an urgent ticking clock to their escape plans. Now, with the echo of that shot still ringing in her ears, Joss stands at a crossroads, pursue the astonishing sighting of Britt Westburn, who miraculously survived her presumed 2023 demise, or adhere to the mission's core objective of lab infiltration. And with the enigmatic Jason Morgan already lurking in the shadows of Dubrovnik, drawn by his own mysterious agenda, Joss must decide if going off-script to unearth Brit's resurrection secrets is worth jeopardizing everything, or if a swift return to safety is the wiser path before their disguises crumble under scrutiny. Joss's defiant actions in that life-or-death moment not only save Vaughn, but also ignite a wave of admiration among fans for her emerging spy prowess, proving she's more than just a recruit, a force to be reckoned with in the field. This impulsive shot, while demonstrating her unyielding loyalty and quick decision-making, sparks debate about the dynamics of her budding partnership with Vaughn, who might now view her as an indispensable ally rather than a liability. Will this display of courage finally earn her the full trust and reinforcement she craves from her seasoned counterpart, or will it inadvertently broadcast their phony honeymoon charade to Dalton's watchful network, tied intricately to the professor's illicit activities, which may include unethical human trials hidden beneath the hotel's opulent veneer? The altercation suggests their infiltration is already teetering on exposure, potentially forcing an emergency evacuation, just as Jason's unexpected presence complicates the landscape. To expand creatively, imagine Vaughn, nursing his wounds in a secluded suite, sharing a rare moment of vulnerability with Joss, recounting his own past missions gone awry to forge a deeper bond, while subtly warning her that such risks could summon reinforcements from rival factions, heightening the international stakes. Joss's burning urge to confront Brit stems from their shared history, where Brit heroically intervened during the Hook Killer's reign of terror, saving Joss from a grisly fate. Defying WSB mandates to engage could either sabotage the entire lab, take down by alerting guards, or unlock pivotal intelligence about Dalton's operations, perhaps revealing Brit as an unwilling participant in his schemes. The bombshell discovery that Brit Westburn is not only alive, but thriving in the very hotel where the mission unfolds plunges Joss into an emotional whirlwind, compelling her to balance unwavering allegiance to the WSB against an insatiable quest for clarity on how Brit cheated death. This sighting, amid the hotel's bustling lobbies and scenic balconies overlooking the Adriatic Sea, forces Joss to confront the ghosts of Port Charles' past, weighing the risks of a clandestine meeting that could expose both women. I envision Joss contemplating a risky confab with Brit, perhaps in a hidden garden alcove, where mutual recognition might lead to blown covers. Brit, with her sharp intellect and history of survival, could either ally with Joss or turn her in to protect her own secrets. As Vaughn recuperates from the savage attack, his injuries including deep bruises and a possible concussion that sideline him temporarily, Joss might advocate fiercely to extend their stay and probe Brit's involvement in Dalton's nefarious plot, outright challenging directives from the no-nonsense WSB chief Jack Brennan, who demands strict obedience from his agents. Yet, if the assault's fallout deems their position untenable, mandating a discreet withdrawal via private yacht or hidden tunnels beneath the city, Joss's unresolved fascination with Brit's revival may be tied to experimental serums Dalton developed head-cooled fester like an open wound, leaving her conflicted between professional duty and the personal truth that has eluded her for years. Adding an invented element, perhaps Joss uncovers a cryptic note in Brit's possession hinting at a larger conspiracy involving Port Charles expatriates, fueling her determination to dig deeper despite the dangers. Ultimately, Joss's entire WSB endeavor teeters on the brink as Brit's enigmatic reappearance and Jason Morgan's timely arrival inject unpredictable variables into an already volatile mix, threatening to derail the infiltration before it truly begins. Jason, with his stoic demeanor and unparalleled survival skills, might be there on a parallel quest, perhaps tipped off by old contacts about Dalton's ties to global threats, creating opportunities for an impromptu alliance or a tense standoff. Will Joss succumb to her rebellious instincts, defying every order to peel back the layers of Brit's survival story, maybe discovering that Brit faked her death to escape a deadly pursuit and risk it all in the process? Or will the lingering threat from the thwarted assailant, who could be rallying reinforcements for a counterstrike, compel a strategic retreat that safeguards her alias, but postpones the answers she desperately seeks? Joss's pivotal decisions stand to reshape the trajectory of her WSB career, which kicked off with her unexpected recruitment following a string of heroic acts back home, potentially leading to groundbreaking revelations or catastrophic fallout. Fans are buzzing with excitement at the prospect of witnessing Joss embrace her rogue side in this exotic locale, channeling the fearless spirit of her mother Carly Corinthos. But there's valid concern that straying from protocol could invite genuine peril. from ambushes in Dubrovnik's ancient alleys to long-term repercussions within the WSB ranks. Next, we will explore the escalating blackmail scheme targeting Sonny Corinthos, orchestrated by the cunning Gen Sidwell, whose grip on a corrupted judge could tip the scales of power and seal fates in the turbulent world of Port Charles. The storm is brewing as Sonny Corinthos gears up to confront the insidious blackmail plot that's been simmering in the shadows, with Sidwell holding a dangerous ace up his sleeve in the form of a judge tainted by bribery, a move that could unravel lives and dictate the villain's ultimate destiny. This high-stakes drama pulls in threads from family feuds and courtroom battles, promising a cascade of perilous revelations that will test loyalties to their breaking point. Picture Sonny, the indomitable mob kingpin, pacing his lavish penthouse, his mind racing through strategies to dismantle this threat before it consumes his empire. To invent a fresh twist, perhaps Sidwell has embedded spies within Sonny's inner circle, feeding him real-time intel on the Corinthos family's vulnerabilities, amplifying the sense of paranoia that now haunts Sonny's every decision. It all kicks off with Marco Rios stumbling upon a heated altercation at General Hospital, where he catches Willow Tate delivering a sharp slap to Lucas Jones amid rising tensions, a stark indicator of Willow's emotional unraveling under the weight of personal crises. This eye-opening moment propels Marco to dash straight to Sidwell, delivering an urgent alert that time is of the essence if the blackmail scheme is to succeed. He stresses that Sidwell must strike swiftly with his extortion tactics against Sonny, warning that Willow's downward spiral could render her unfit in the eyes of any court, sabotaging her chances at securing custody of the children. Furthermore, should Michael's custody agreement solidify without interference, Sidwell's carefully constructed leverage would evaporate like mist, leaving him powerless to manipulate the situation. Expanding on this, imagine Marco recounting the slap in vivid detail to Sidwell over a clandestine coffee in a dimly lit diner, painting Willow as a ticking time bomb whose instability perhaps exacerbated by hidden health scares, or resurfacing secrets from her past could trigger a chain reaction of legal disasters for the family. Sidwell, ever the calculating opportunist, takes Marco's advice to heart, recognizing the wisdom in accelerating his timeline rather than lingering for a flawless opening. As the window for maximum impact narrows with each passing day, while he had initially played the long game, savoring the anticipation of the perfect strike, Marco's insights provide the nudge to propel him into action, potentially capitalizing on fresh chaos like Michael's explosive outburst at the Metro Court, where he unleashes a powerful punch on Drew Kane, exposing cracks in Michael's usually composed facade. This public meltdown could serve as Sidwell's golden ticket, highlighting the Corinthos clan's fragility and making them ripe for exploitation. Creatively adding depth, Sidwell might convene a secret strategy session with his associates in a hidden warehouse on the outskirts of town, poring over dossiers that include fabricated evidence, linking Michael's aggression to deeper instabilities, all designed to amplify the blackmail's potency and force Sonny's hand. The intrigue builds as we anticipate Sidwell's method of dropping this explosive revelation on Sonny, perhaps initiating contact with a cryptic phone call summoning him to a neutral, high-end venue like a secluded yacht club overlooking the harbor, dangling assurances that the rendezvous will prove immensely beneficial. Sonny, cautious yet intrigued by his adversary's boldness, might initially balk at the invitation, but Sidwell could weave in tantalizing clues, insinuating that Michael's future as a dedicated parent hinges precariously on Sonny's willingness to engage. Once Sonny relents and steps into the meeting, he's hit with a barrage of updates on Sidwell's intricate web of operations, igniting a blaze of fury within him as the full extent of the manipulation comes to light. To invent an element, envision Sidwell presenting a sleek tablet displaying forged documents and wire transfer records, painting Sonny as the mastermind behind the judge's corruption, complete with timestamps that align suspiciously with Sonny's known movements. Delving deeper, Sidwell lays out the damning details of the judge bribery scandal, elucidating how the exposure of those illicit funds would instantly cast Sonny as the primary culprit, dragging him into a legal quagmire that could strip Michael of custody over Wiley and Amelia Corinthos. This revelation threatens not only Michael's parental rights, but also the fragile bonds within the family, as accusations of Sonny's involvement might fracture his relationship with Michael irreparably, breeding resentment and betrayal. Sidwell wields this narrative like a sharpened blade, coercing Sonny into submission by preying on his fierce paternal instincts. Though Sonny bristles at being commanded by a lowlife like Sidwell, The stakes might compel him to play along temporarily, biding his time for retaliation, adding a new layer. Perhaps during the confrontation, Sonny flashes back to past betrayals, his eyes narrowing as he vows internally to turn the tables, maybe even hinting at mobilizing underground allies from his mob network to counter Sidwell's empire. Yet, even in compliance, Sonny isn't one to cower. He could counter with a chilling reminder to Sidwell that this affront won't be forgotten, issuing a veiled threat that echoes through the room, prophesying a day of reckoning where Sidwell will rue the moment he dared to corner the Corinthos patriarch. By descending to such depraved tactics against a man of Sonny's caliber, Sidwell unwittingly charts a course toward his own demise, crossing an invisible line that invites vengeance from the shadows. This bold overreach might sow the seeds for Sidwell's gradual unraveling, orchestrated meticulously by Sonny's hands, though the path to justice could wind through months of calculated moves and alliances. Inventing further, imagine Sonny sealing the tense exchange with a symbolic gesture, like crushing a glass in his fist, symbolizing the fragility of Sidwell's position and foreshadowing the crushing blow to come. ABC General Hospital spoilers hint that Sonny's resolve ensures Sidwell won't evade retribution indefinitely, paving the way for a cascade of jaw-dropping twists that will keep viewers riveted. As the blackmail's ripples spread, expect alliances to shift and secrets to surface, all building toward an epic clash. Stay tuned for more updates on these shocking developments that promise to redefine power dynamics in Port Charles.